Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of Foomcraft with Benito. So here at my magic station, and today we're going to cover how you get started with Foomcraft. It's a very extensive mod and it will require a lot of resources, so before you get started I would suggest you build up a good supply of resources, maybe get a quarry going, just things like that so you have plenty of resources because you will be eating up a lot of it with this. So first thing you do is you need to head out into the world and find these special ore shards, which I will show you now. Okay, as you can see here, you get these strange little blocks scattered throughout the world while caving mostly, and you break them, get your experience, and drop these little shards. And these shards are what you need to get started. You only need one, but you will need quite a few eventually. So I'll just head back and I can show you what you do now you have your first shard. Okay, now we have the shards and a few other materials, it's time to get started. Let's grab a few from here. We can use the earth shard. Earth shards are pretty much the most common you'll find. So what we need to do is make some sticks. And this to get started, you're going to need nuggets, a shard and a stick. You combine them together in this little sort of fashion and you get this wand of the apprentice. And this is basically your gateway into starting anything with Foomcraft. Now the best way to get started I find is to get a bookshelf and then right click it with the... Ooh, we don't have enough charge. That's interesting. Why is it not charged? Okay, we're going to leave that for now and then you come over... Oh, there we go, slowly charging. So you can see just above my hunger bar the wand is charging with that Viz stuff. And basically that is how much power is in the wand. It charges from nearby aura nodes, which we'll get into it in a later video. So we'll let that charge up to 50. There we go. You come over to the bookshelf, right click, and it will turn into this book. Pick that book up, and you have your Thaumcraft. Right click on that, and this is basically where you do all your research. You can see there's a lot here we're going to have to go through, but you can't just skip right to the end. You need to unlock things in a certain order. All this up here is general information you can find on every aspect of Foomcraft, from the ores to cinder pearls to the crafting tables and all that. So what we need to do now is make some tables. So if we look in here, tables, half slabs and wood. So let's make a few of those. Half slabs. Okay, we're going to need a couple more. Let's make 4 sets of half slabs. Okay, so we have 4 tables now. So what you can do with the tables is you can place one here, place a couple here, sorry. You don't go there. I don't have an axe, so this is going to take a little while to break. There we go. Put that there. And now if you right click on one of the tables with the wand, you can see it suddenly changed into this strange thing and our wand has gone into it. This is an arcane crafting table. It works exactly like a normal crafting table, except it allows you to use magic infused things by putting your wand into it. We'll worry about that later when we get onto it. Next we need to move on. If we open the Foomcraft again, we need to make this... Where is it? These scribing tools, which we can then use to make the... Where is it? Research table. So you need 2 tables and scribing tools, so I'll be right back once I have them. Okay, now we have the required materials. We can put them together, I think it's this order, to make the scribing tools. So you can see this is a normal crafting thing, you don't need the wand in there. So we'll make the scribing tools. You can then bring them over to this double table, right click, and you can see it merges into one writing desk. So it doesn't really matter which way around you have it, just depends on, which way you want that really. So this is basically how you get started. We have our crafting table. We have our research table, we have the Thaumcraft. The next thing we need, if we come over here, just a bunch of resources gathered for this, is to make a cauldron, like so. I'm going to place that cauldron in the center. Why in the center? Because it actually needs to be above a heat source such as this lava. So we have that, we grab our wand again, and we right click. You can see it's changed. This is now a crucible, which is where you will create stuff using Foomcraft. For now, we're not going to worry about that till we do some research. So researching is how you get new things. You do it in the research table, or you can throw things straight in the crucible, but that's risky. That's risky, and it doesn't always prove to yield results. So we'll now get on to some research, just to show you how it's done. Okay, so what you need to do to research is you need paper. You put it in this bottom slot here. Then you have cursory or thorough, and I'll explain that in a second. Basically, to start research, you grab some materials. We're going to use coal for now. Come over to here, put it in one of these slots, and you can put numerous things there. So we could put gold as well, and you'll see these icons will appear. And these icons also appear if you hold Shift while mousing over any icon. You can see it has all these different things, and they all have different numbers. These are aspects. So a coal has an aspect of fire, which is Ignis, Potentia, which is power, earth, and strength, and Saxum, which is rock. And then each of these will have something different to it. So, for example, this has water, animals, learning, food, and crop. And that's because you require food comes from the leather, as well as the animal. And paper comes from the water is included in paper next. It comes from sugarcane. So you gotta just think about what would logically be in stuff. So then you could choose cursory or thorough. Cursory means by doing thorough, you click it, you can see that got used up. We now have 63. And basically thorough means you have more chance of using this, but you will make more progress in your research, which you can now see is here. You can take this out, you can put it back, you can trade them around, do whatever you want. So we're going to stay with thorough. Click this again. You can see Ignis has now appeared here. So this is your first step into doing research. Click it again. Ignis is now fully uncovered, and this Obscurus is still obscured. Obviously we don't know what it is. But you can also see over here, Saxum, the rock is now greyed out. That means this recipe, for nitor, as you can now see, does not require any Saxum. We'll click it again a few times, but it does require Potentia. So we'll click it a few more times. There we go. So we now have Potentia, Ignis, and another Obscurus. So we know coal won't get us any more. You can also mouse over here. As you go with progression, you'll eventually uncover more things to do with research. First you'll uncover its name, which might give you a clue. Then eventually you'll uncover this, which if you mouse over this little thing, tell you something about it. So the glowing flame seems to be fueled by magic itself. The number of uses for an ever-burning flame seem endless, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to reduce from its heat, though it could prove to be a steady source of light and energy. Okay, so basically we know we used the fire and the potential from the coal. Since it's light, we're going to grab the glowstone, since it's a light source, put it in there, and then we're going to click it again. You can see Vision is now grayed out because it's not required, but Lux is, so we'll click it a few more times, and there we go, it's uncovered. You can now pick up this completed recipe, put it in your hand, it will tell you the 3 things you needed to research it, then you right click, you can see in the top left corner, research complete. You now go to your Formonomicon, you can see this one is now complete, and these ones are still all grayed out. So the way these work are, these ones we cannot research until we have researched these. So it's a progression track. So we've researched nitor, we can click on it, and you can see what you need to do it and create it. So additionally to what we had before, which is this, it now says nitor can also be placed in the world type as a natural light source. So we need 4 Ignis, 6 Lux, 4 Potentia. So let's come over here, and we're going to grab some of the coal again. We're going to make 1. So we need 4, so that's 2 coal. And how much Ignis? 6, was it not? Yes, 6. So we also need 2 glowstone dust. You come over to your crucible. This is how you create stuff. You put in water. Ooh, frozen. Let's fix that in a bit. Let's just put some torches here to melt it. Sort that later. Now you can see it's boiling. It takes a little while to get to this stage. Then you just literally drop in the items. You can see it makes little bubbles. And right click. There we go, we have 1 nitor. Now you have to be careful while doing this because any excess things will get put into the atmosphere as flux. A flux can have some negative effects later on, so be careful during these early stages not to waste too much of the different materials. So we do this again, put in the water, wait for it to boil. We're putting in 2 coal and 2 glowstone. So from the coal you're getting 2 ignis, 2 potentia and 1 saxum. So the ignis and potentia are being used up, but the saxum isn't. And it's the same with the glowstone with the lux. It's not the lux, the visum. The visum and saxum aren't getting used up to create the nitor. Instead, they're being released into the air as flux. A little bit like this won't cause too much hassle. You don't need to worry about a little bit. But eventually, we will be making bigger things which require more complicated recipes, and they will release more things. But that's the basics on how you do research and creation. Next time we're going to go into a couple of things like this nitor and a few more other bits of research. So I hope you enjoyed. If this has helped you at all, feel free to leave a like or comment, and I will see you all next time for some actual uses of what you can make. So see you then. Toodles!